Good afternoon, everyone. Jennifer here, coming to you this afternoon with just a few orchestra notes. So, first of all, I really especially want to thank everyone. I know that this took extra effort, and I am personally grateful. I do hope that even though you're doing me a favor, that this experience will be fun and that we'll have an opportunity to really enjoy making some great music. It's hard to have only one rehearsal. Usually, to bring a piece to life, there's a first rehearsal, getting to know the piece, and sometimes getting to know each other, which, was happening last night as well. Then there's a technical rehearsal, and then a third rehearsal where it starts to come together, and then finally a polishing rehearsal. However, we had to do all of that in one night. And I think for the circumstances under which we are playing, we did a good job of that. So there's just a couple of things that I want to catch some notes on. Things that were in my mind last night, and then also again as I went through the rehearsal video. So it's very important that we observe the terrace dynamics. Whenever I have done Haydn, I find Haydn sparkles when you make those terrace dynamics. So thinking about forte, that's very, very far away from piano. You've got mezzo forte in there, mezzo piano in there, and then piano juxtaposed against the forte. So there should be a very large difference. And I'm going to talk about the spots that we want to catch. So looking in measure 26, everybody should recognize that the downbeat is forte, and then we have a subito piano on beat 2. The fact that the firsts are in their upper register, seconds viola, and especially cello bass, don't let this high sound fool you. Read the print, and it's going to be cello bass that's going to be able to lead that dynamic contrast, because you guys have so much power. Yes. So here in that spot at 26, if the forward moving eighth notes, forward moving energy keeps going, but softly, that's going to really make that section shine. In 31 until 35, this is all piano. And it's going to be hard because of this lyrical pattern, and also because it's a bit higher in the register. But in order for the spirit of this piece to work, that has to be very, very soft. Moving on to, well, before we move on, so if you're checking out 26 to 35, from beat 2 of 26 all the way to the downbeat of 35, that's piano, and it's got a hold there. Okay. 32 and 34. Cello bass, you're going to help us out the most. If you really get under here with these quarter notes in 32 and 34, and get that down. The rest should follow you. You have a lot of power in this piece. All right, moving forward to the last 5 measures. Violins and viola, you must make these changes happen. Especially, so let's just review what that looks like. Soft, da dee da ba da, forte, and then soft again. Da dee da ba ba, forte, and soft again. Do 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 do, forte. Do dee da ba da. Soft on the downbeat. And then forte, forte. One of the things that's going to be hard about this is after the forte, you are now reaching up into your higher register. So it'll be very easy to let these higher notes speak. A lot of energy on these lower notes, maybe forte plus, and then you're going to have to extra bring it back so that this singing melody is at piano. The juxtaposition is what makes these measures work, and it's very important to the piece, so we have to have that. And then for cello bass, looking at this is going to be important because you don't understand what's going on. You hear marked piano here, and then they come in on a forte for a downbeat, and then the natural thing to do is, oh, I'm hearing forte, so I'm going to play forte, and then you're going to end up pushing the first, seconds, and violas into a dynamic that we don't want. So I made a little kind of picture for you guys that I'm going to show you. Will it show? Oh, there we are. So this is actually what should be marked in your parts, where the rest is a forte, piano for 3 of your notes, and then just so you know, they have a forte marked here, you don't. So just don't. And then, of course, stay piano. There will be a forte on this rest, and then you want to stay piano. So, you know, because your part doesn't really describe what's happening, this information is helpful. You're going to want to mark into your part to just keep it down that whole way. Okay, thanks for watching the video. I have just 2 more points that's going to help us have an amazing moment tomorrow. Point 1, still on this concept of terrace dynamics. Now let's turn to the opening 4 measures and then 54 and 57. So these opening 4 measures are terrace dynamics. Lom, bom, bom. And then here, piano, it must still move forward though. And thank you first for playing this rhythm correctly. But what we want is forward motion. Bum, bum, bum. And then violas especially, you can help by playing these quarter notes lyrical. Da, da, da. And then also here. That same figure comes back at the reprise in measure 54. So when we hit the piano, it has to be super piano, but keep it moving. We have to move through there. We want that sound to be sweet. rhythmical but sweet in the second measure. And moving. Last point. We need to maintain tempo. If everyone can just check themselves, just run the piece once with metronome 132, and you will find the places where you'll naturally try to slow down. Probably the places we would all naturally slow down. Last night, I may not have used the right word. I said cello bass needs to drive. I wonder if using that word caused us to think of something heavier. Where, for example, in the Rite of Spring, it's driving, boom, 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 boom. But it's driving with a very vertical feel. This needs to drive with forward motion. So I think if I was able to go back in history and redo last night's rehearsal, I would have used the word forward motion. So one of the muse ideas I'm using to help me think about this is the drum set in a cool jazz piece. It's soft and it's forward motion. And that's what we need from you guys. Soft, compact, forward motion. Looking at measures 43, 45, 47, 49. Cello bass, when you finally have a chance to have something a little more fun than just repeated notes, yes, of course, bring this out. But the tendency will be to slow down at the end of the measure. If you need to, just a tiny bit, think about a pretend rush on beat 3 and especially beat 4 to forward yourself into the next measure. Viola and cello, or excuse me, viola, you join them. You join them on that harder part. So think about jumping a train. That train is moving. Viola, you're going to have to move with them to make sure that doesn't slow down. And the last measure to talk about that, this is the last measure to talk about, measure 12 and measure 65. Here's measure 12. It's going to be easy to slow down here. We want to have forward motion into the downbeat. And there I just slowed down to demonstrate it. But you get the point. And I will try to beat something that's going to help us there. That also recurs in measure 65. So we want to make sure we have that. So the last few things I'm going to talk about, there's a lot of things I want to change for myself as well and continue to try and improve. I'm just going to talk about a couple of goals, not everything, but for me, I'm going to try to stay more compact. And also in terms of eye contact, instead of looking just in general areas, I'm going to try to make more personal eye-to-eye contact. And that's hard to do because you can't practice it unless there's people in front of you. But there are some rehearsal techniques with sticky notes and things that I'm going to do tonight. So tomorrow, I don't want to be the rhythm section. I don't want to conduct us moving. So I'm just going to leave that up to Mark and Rhea to move forward and make our rhythm section go forward. And then I want to conduct the music. especially because it's, for my tape. So that's it, guys. Thank you again so much. And I'm sure you read the notes in the email about we can stay in room 3 as a green room. And then ladies or gentlemen, if you have a personal item like a purse or something, please don't leave that in room 3. We will take it to the sanctuary, but I have someone that will be holding purses, so we don't have to put purses on our music stands while playing because we want this to look sharp. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye-bye.